Today is a special night.
It is very special.
Well, there's two things going on here, right? So the first is
100 episodes.
which is just going to happen to come out on Halloween Eve.
Holy cow.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. This is really, really crazy. 100 episodes. We did it. We're like in the big leagues now. Like, we're serious.
It was meant to be, man.
100. On Halloween.
Yeah.
And so we have, I know we say this quite often because we think every episode is special. I mean, come on, they're our babies. We love our episodes. But we have a special one tonight, being that we're just going to talk to the dead any way that we can. Because I stopped by the store on my way here, and I bought us a Ouija board.
A Ouija board. And we're going to talk to that son of a bitch. And it's not going to be a special episode. It's going to be super epic. Just like the beer we're drinking tonight, called Super Epic Lager from Epic Brewing.
Is it epic?
It's pretty good, man.
Is it?
This is a beer you want on a cold night during winter. And it's starting to get cold here.
Yeah. It is very cold. I'm upset because it was my birthday last weekend, right? And we were going to go to the Haunted Forest, which is my favorite haunted house. But they rained out. And they said, we won't close for rain unless it's like torrential downpour. It was drizzling and they closed. So we went bowling instead.
Man, that sucks.
But anyway, folks, sincerely from the bottom of the abyss, thank you for joining us for this very, very special 100th episode and for making this happen.
So let's circle back. All right, we'll start. Son of a bitch. Okay, so we have a Ouija board in the house. Are you afraid of Ouija boards at all?
No.
I have no fear whatsoever. I always think it's funny when someone's like, you have a Ouija board in your house? Oh my God.
You do get quite a reaction when you tell people, oh, I'm going to do Ouija boards. And people are like, no, don't do it.
I just want to prime any angry or demonic spirits in this house that if you want to talk to us while we're, on this Ouija board, go right ahead. If you want to try to possess, you can try, I guess. Britain is totally willing to be possessed.
I think Cleet is the willing one.
So am I. Demon, you can enter my body.
I mean, that being said, so the Ouija board piece, we're still not quite at the level of having, we're not there at all for video. We will eventually, but you'll just have to kind of listen to us talk. And eventually we'll get a camera in the setup and you can watch us do it. But we're also going to be turning on the spirit box.
Yeah.
And
ghost rods while we're telling scary stories on Halloween Eve.
So we're just doing everything. We're just going to talk to the dead as many ways as possible, and hopefully we can get some good shit. But I think it's kind of surreal, man.
But Zuzu, I want to hear from you.
And we also, to fill some of the gaps, we've got some really true scary stories from Reddit, which is just such a fun thread, just such a fun, wholesome forum to read from.
Yeah.
Than Reddit. Okay, but before we jump into that, we actually had a listener send us an email, and we're gonna share that email because it was just really, really cool. So a listener by the name of Roman shared, and he said, "Hey guys, I really like the podcast. It's pretty sick. I started listening 2-ish weeks ago and only have a few episodes till I'm caught up to present time. That's crazy. So just a couple weeks.
We got a binge watcher.
Yeah. That's pretty awesome. Not sure if this story would fit into an episode, but it's pretty dope sick, I think. So he says, I grew up in a small town in Saskatchewan, Canada, when I was around 6, I think. There was an old man living down the street. His name was Sherman. He sat out in front of his house, chain smoking constantly. He was a pretty cool guy and would give me the occasional candy, or if I was really lucky, a hit off of his cigarette.
That's weird.
It's a little odd.
It's like, hey, come drink this beer, too.
I would walk over and talk to him a few times a week. He told me stories about how there was a zoo in his basement. What's your first thought?
Well, he clearly listened to conspiracy icebergs from us, is my first thought. But if someone were to say they had a zoo in their basement, I'd feel like they're trying to kidnap me and put me in some type of kid prison.
Yeah, not a good situation. But it was secret, and it wasn't like any other zoo.
Oh, that's even more creepy vibes.
Yeah.
You want to come see it? Free of charge.
So I always asked to see it, which he would always say it was too messy. Eventually he died, and I mostly forgot about him, but the thought of a basement zoo stuck with me. About 7 years later, The house was bought and renovated. In the basement, they found 2 human bodies. It never made news, which sucks. Can you believe that?
He dodged a bullet.
Yeah, a big bullet, because that probably would have been body number 3. So, Roman, you did the good thing by saying, well, I guess you did try and see the zoo, but, it's a good thing you didn't. And I appreciate you sharing the story. He also said that if we ever go on a business trip, we need to call it the Abyssness trip. That's pretty great.
Whatever, if it's a tax write-off, I'm down.
So thank you, Roman, for your suggestion and your story. That's really awesome. And if anyone else has any stories you want us to tell on the show, enter theabysspod@gmail.com.
All right, the first story from Reddit is from Mom Says I'm Pretty.
Uh-huh.
That's sweet. True story time. I was about 4 or 5 years old, and my parents had just separated. My mom was living in a 2-bedroom apartment. I had my own room, but preferred to sleep in her bed whenever I was staying with her. Our 2 bedrooms were at the end of the hallway, directly across from each other. Our apartment was on the first floor, and I remember that it was in the middle of the summer, and my mom had a window open in her room, which was directly behind the bed above the headboard. Anyways, I woke up in the middle of the night and remember sitting up and seeing our cat was sitting in the door frame of my mom's room. Her door was open and you could partially see into my bedroom. This was strange, because our cat was typically always in bed with us. As I was watching him, he walked into my bedroom and meowed. I turned to face my mom and wake her up. In the 3 to 4 seconds it took her to wake up and ask me what was wrong, we both looked back up in the door frame, and there was a man standing by my open door, making his way out of my bedroom. I still don't know how she managed to do it so quickly, but my mother proceeded to pick me up and literally throw me out of the screen window.
Damn.
Right, that adrenaline. Again, we were on the first floor, and it was maybe a 3-foot drop to the ground. She quickly followed, and we were able to start screaming for help, and someone called 911. The police came, but didn't see any sign of forced entry, only that our front door was unlocked, which led them to believe the man must exited that way. The strange thing was that my mom swore up and down that she locked the door that night, with a deadbolt and chain lock. About a week later, she was cleaning the kitchen and opened up our water heater closet and found a notebook with names and drawings. Ooh, it's getting creepy. As well as a pair of gloves and some gum wrappers. The police were called again, but all they could do was speculate that the man had been there in our house and hid until we were asleep. Just to clarify, our apartment was on ground level, so my mother didn't hurl me into potential paralysis, just a 3-ish foot drop to the grass.
So I have to clarify. She didn't throw me off the top of a 3-story building. It was just the first floor.
Threw me. She aimed for the pool, but I missed.
All right, this next story comes from our pal Deleted. A terrifying but true story I experienced when I was 12. I moved to my dad's when I was 10 and didn't know anyone in the area, except for the family my dad was friends with. Single mom with 3 kids. Luckily, there was a girl a couple years older than me, 12 at the time I met her, and we got to know each other a little over a couple of years. We weren't close, but ended up having the same friends. One night, my friend Rob was hanging out with her and her younger brother. They happened to be in the house alone because my friend's mom was at work, which is where this gets terrifying and sad. Her mother has been helping this one lady through her work and got to know her fairly well. She found out her sister was in a mental institution and was let out recently. The night Rob was hanging out with my friend, they got a knock on the door. Oh, shit. My friend thought it was just their mom. She knocks a certain way when coming in and answered it without thinking. Rob wasn't supposed to be there, and he took off through the window to his house down the road. He never thought twice about it. Wasn't her mom, it was the sister of the lady her mom was helping, and she figured out through talking to her sister where her family lived and her mom's working schedule. She came in, and this is where I don't know details, and I'm glad I don't. My friend's younger brother got away to the neighbors to call the police. The lady brutally murdered my friend a week from Christmas, decapitated her and left her body naked in a bathtub, hid her head. They had to look through the presents, and I don't know where they found it, but they did. I wasn't allowed to go to her funeral.
Jesus Christ.
Wow. That's a shitty Christmas week.
The world is a dark place, my friend.
You think so?
Yeah. like Mike Tyson said, anything that you think could happen has happened. And the rich elite are hunting people on large estates.
That's kind of crazy to think about. The craziest shit you can think about that have happened.
Oh, you think through history,
have happened.
People have tortured other people in horrendous ways, Like, think of that. Like, what's the worst way to die? It's happened to someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's probably always a worse way. You think you know the worst way to die, but it's probably been done 100 times over.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are pulling out the Ouija board. And again, if there's any demons, Chris, Cenobites, any, archangels who are angry that want to talk to us, go right ahead. We're going to put our fingers on the planchette right now. Let's go.
And we made a pact, obviously, that we're not going to, dick around with each other and move it. And, so we're fully anticipating this thing not to work. But you know what? We're going to try it and see what we have. So you're supposed to say, hello?
Concentrate on something. Hello? Is anybody here?
No movement yet. Chris, are you here? Do you want to talk to us via this new Ouija board?
Try to apply more pressure on the planchette. I hear if you go in an 8-word motion like this, no, an infinity sign, sorry. Like this, it's supposed to help. While you go. Yeah.
Okay.
Like draw an 8, I guess. Is that how we draw an 8? How do we draw an 8? Is it easier to go like that for you?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's go.
You're
recording.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me put on my headphones.
Cleat wasn't ready.
All right. So go like this.
So we're drawing a figure 8 to try and open the portal, I guess. I guess we probably should have researched how it works.
Yeah, we got this. Okay, are there any demons in here? Stop. Are there any ghosts?
Is there any otherworldly presence here with us?
Anybody? For Halloween, come on. Our listeners are waiting.
Chris, if you're here, spell out your favorite dessert.
Does anyone want to possess us?
Cleet's asking the real questions.
Was Jesus real? All right, we'll come back to it.
All right. Oh, we're supposed to say goodbye.
Nah, let's leave it open.
Goodbye.
I want to do every fashion faux pas.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not going to say it was a bust, but it was a bust.
Yeah,
We'll try it again.
Tried to get Christine in on here, but nope, she was afraid.
She had the same reaction I think most people do. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not most people, but Cleet's like, hey, come do this. She said, nope.
I wouldn't tell her until she was in the room. I'm like, hey, I need your help with stuff. Come
I
here.
had a feeling you were leaving, and I'm like, he's going to try and bring her in here, and she's going to be like, nope.
All right, next up, we will be doing the ghost box.
Yeah, after a couple more stories.
All right. This one is from Christopher Squawkin.
Quack.
I was sitting in my room after getting out of work on the second floor. Little bro's downstairs watching TV. The dog is in the hallway outside my door sleeping. All of a sudden, my dog starts making all kinds of racket, jumping round, barking, clicking nails, howling. I go to get up to see what's up, and I hear, "Ah, that's a good girl," in a male's voice.
Oh, Jesus.
Right? It didn't sound like little bro, so I go, "Oh, you're home early," thinking it's my dad's friend or a roomie as I open the door. Soon as I'm out there, there is no one at all but the dog wagging her tail, staring at an empty end of our hallway. Little bro comes upstairs to yell at me for getting his dog riled up. Said he heard the same voice, thinking it was me or our roommate. We did a once-over of the house with a butterfly knife and his BB gun.
Jeez.
And there was nobody. Still gives me the spooks to this day. That's
creepy. I would not mess with someone with a BB gun and a butterfly knife.
Dude,
they mean business.
You need a goddamn shotgun, okay?
Yeah, just get a pistol.
You don't even have to aim. You just got to pull the trigger, and there's like something missing.
There's a lot of things missing. You get hit with one of those?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to pull from the other Reddit thread that we had pulled up too, revolving around the Ouija board. And the thread is, does anyone have any personal Ouija board stories? So this comes from TMB112679. Very unique name. Yes, I honestly don't talk about this too much anymore due to the fact that I am in my 30s. And to tell the truth, some of the things that happened to me sound too crazy to be true. I used to channel, and I actually could do that well. I was in my late teens and started using the board, never store-bought. I made my own. See, that's where we messed up. You make our own.
Yeah, with human skin.
Yes. My friend and I would use it any chance we could because we had made contact with something powerful, and we agreed that it was amazing. Not only did it warn me of my grandmother approaching my room, she would have none of this in her house, and would tell me to put the board away, but it was also so powerful that the pointer would fly out of our hands, sometimes flip in midair. Mind you, even recounting this, I expect no one to believe. However, it started out kind and playful, and then it slowly turned mean and scary. It said vulgar things, and every night it became worse till I could no longer take it. I thought in the beginning that it was my deceased father, and soon found out that it wasn't. I destroyed my board, but things in the house became very scary. My bed at night would shake violently while laying down. Loud bangs. My cat would be scared shitless and take off. My grandmother revealed at the same time that she was going to get up in the middle of the night to talk to me. This was during the use of the Ouija board. And something threw her down on the bed and wouldn't let her up. Anyway, things kept up and my family's pastor had to come in and bless my home. Just a warning that playing with the board can lead to inviting something that can and will mentally torture you. I still have a remember that fear that came over me and when my bed was shaking and I was afraid to get out of it. Meanwhile, we have a board here that isn't wanting to cooperate.
You know, I was thinking, Britton, at least our viewers know that we are honest dudes because we didn't fake anything on that even though we're not on camera. Or the other explanation is, well, I guess it could be both. The demons are scared. They're scared of us because they're little cupcakes. You know, if there's any demons in here that want to talk to us, I mean, we're trying everything we can do, and you can't even get off your ass to move a planchette. Now, we'll see what you do with the spirit box, but we're going to do just a few more stories before we plug that one in. So if you could please stop being a little bitch and talk on the spirit box.
And you got a bunch of paranormal investigators that are just rolling around in their grave going, you never piss them off. You never piss off the ghosts.
All right. Well, before they, stop being bitches, let's read this one from Buzz Light Beer 27.
That's amazing. But also, demons being bitches and all, but like, Chris, come on, man. We're trying to contact you. It's been a while. We miss you. You're like a popular version of the show.
He used to watch me sleep. We were good friends.
Yeah. It's almost like a mascot at this point. But anyway, I want to hear from Buzz Lightbeer.
I posted this last night in a similar Ask Reddit thread. A few years ago, I was home alone at nighttime. I was watching TV in my living room when I heard the doorbell ring. Whenever I hear the doorbell ring, especially when I'm home alone, I'm cautious to answer it. I walk up to the peephole without turning on the porch light so they don't know if anyone is actually home or not, and look through. It's really dark, but I can see a small figure, more like a black blob. I don't know its definite shape, and had to be about 3 to 4 feet, doing like a dancing motion. What the fuck?
It's like you like what you see.
That's creepy. Dipping down and oscillating its arms outward.
Oscillating. Love that word.
It's when you get that nay-nay song. You like blast it, open the door, and start dancing
Watch me
back.
Whip. Watch me nay-nay.
Look at my stanky leg. All right.
We are so cool.
Back to the story. Think of a person moving their arms like wings gracefully. It was dark outside, but this figure was more opaque, so I could see this going on. After a few seconds, I stopped looking through the peephole because it was too freaky to look at. I regained some courage and looked back through, and whatever it was gone. To this day, I still don't know what that was, and I get freaked out thinking about it. This is so far the best story because you have so many questions, man. Could just be some crackhead doing a little jiggle. or it could be some dancing demon devil, or my favorite, my cousin Jason.
Oh yeah, is he known to do stuff?
Oh
like this?
yeah, all the time.
Oscillating, gyrating arms out.
Or Miley Cyrus. I don't know. Could have been Miley Cyrus.
Probably.
Coming in like a wrecking ball.
Okay. One more, and then we'll jump back in. Oh, we'll do the spirit box. One more, and then Scott's spirit box. So this comes from Atticus with 3 Ds. My ex-wife had several weird experiences. I'll just relate this one. I'm at work one day when she calls me out of the blue. We were still married at the time. She usually did not call me during the day because she worked the night shift. She tells me to call my friend Danny and make sure he and his family are okay. When I ask why, she tells me that she had a dream but can't remember it, but that I should call Danny and make sure he's okay. I've seen too many experiences to like overlook that.
Oh yeah.
Like if someone calls at work, say you call. Right.
Yeah,
away.
of course.
So I call Danny and check in with him. I tell him about my wife's dream. He's mildly amused but tells me that he and his family are fine and to thank my wife for her concern. I call her back and let her know all is well. She's very dubious when she hears the news. I found out later that within half an hour of my phone call to Danny, he got another call from his uncle in Florida to tell him that Danny's son had hanged himself.
I haven't smoked in
Good
like
God.
5 years, but if I heard that, I would pick up fucking smoking again. That is deep shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You just don't come back from something like that, man. That's hard.
Well, happy Halloween, folks. Well, anyways, let's jump into the spirit box. All right.
Let's get the spirit box going, and Chris, you better talk to us.
And demons, it's time to redeem yourself.
Happy Halloween, spirits. Do you have anything you want to tell us off the bat?
I have to ask the obligatory question, spirits, and I'm sorry for this. What is my name?
Did you guys want to communicate with us with the Ouija board?
Are there any demons with us?
Is there any spirits with us whatsoever tonight? Spooky.
If there's any spirits, what am I holding in my hand?
Spirits, what am I holding in my hand?
Thanks.
Chris, are you here?
Is there anyone evil here right now that wants to talk about some evil shit?
No matter.
How did you die?
Wait.
Seriously, can you say any of our names here? Slow down before you answer. What's one of our names?
Is there a reason that every spirit in this house is just so scared tonight? Alright, spirits. You had your chance to shine and you blew it, so we're going to be signing off unless you have anything else.
I'm gonna count down. Say something cool. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5.
Help? What do you need help with?
Did somebody track you in this house?
Did you say captive?
Road.
Run? Is something coming?
Three, 2, 1. Alright, guys. Yeah, so person in my house
run.
before got charged for trying to traffic. I guess. Can I say that? I don't know. Anyways, he went to jail. Or actually, maybe he's on the run. I don't know.
But it sounded a lot like someone said run at the end there. It was like, is something coming? And then, of course, nothing. I mean, we're striking out, folks. We apologize. But look, we're giving you raw, real content. We're not
I'm
fabricating
not
any of this.
apologizing. This is great. This one is Sam is Le Man, 17.
Sam is Le Man.
There is an abandoned house next to mine. The previous owner moved out to California 25 years prior and never sold it. I got a flashlight, gloves, and pushed the window open and went inside, starting with the basement. In the basement was a grand piano. Still plays, but very much out of tune. Old World War II stuff that seemed to be signed Elvis poster. Some other really cool shit no one should ever leave behind. There's basically a whole story in that basement, including a broken wedding picture frame and instruments everywhere. On the main floor was an unmade bed, molded food still in the fridge, and on the stovetop, half-empty beers turned solid. Lights that still hadn't been turned off. Then I started walking upstairs when I heard crying from one side of the rooms. That's when I freaked the fuck out and haven't been there since.
Did you ever go explore like old houses like for sale and stuff?
I went into some places that probably were abandoned.
Okay. Probably. Broke into someone's house while they were sleeping? Did you tickle their feet in their bed?
No, decrepit houses.
Yeah.
All the time.
In my old neighborhood, we used to, there used to be this house a couple blocks away, or a couple streets away, really. And it was for sale, and it was for sale for the longest time. And in, you know, your kid's imagination, you're like, ooh, maybe it's haunted and everything.
Yeah, right.
So the back door, for some reason, the sliding glass back door was always open. So we just go through and walk through this house, and it was empty. It was nice, but like, we would just pretend like it was haunted. We'd play Bloody Mary in the bathrooms, freak ourselves out. Good times. Okay, this story is from Hobbsit. And it starts with, alrighty. This is in the late 80s, early 90s. I was around 6 or 7 years old. I'm at home with my sister, who was 14 or 15 at the time. We grew up in a small Texas town. Everyone knows everybody. We're home alone in this particular night, and my folks let my sister babysit me frequently. We always got along due to our age gap. Anyways, it's about 8 p.m. in the winter. Deserts get pretty damn cold, so it's dark, and we are in the common room since that is where the TV was. Watching 60 Minutes or 48 Hours or Hard Copy or some shit, those 1-hour news pieces on CBS that chronicle large crimes in depth, trafficking, murders, kidnappings, and the like. Basically a gritty Lifetime special. This one was a typical story. Guy next door that was quiet went on a rampage in his next door neighbor's house, mutilating them and kidnapping their younger daughter.
The Big Macs do not look like what they do in the advertisements. I'm gonna get my neighbors.
Sometimes that's all it takes, man. Well, the thing about our house common room is the door leading to the backyard was a large glass door on a wall of floor-to-ceiling windows. Nothing but blackness beyond it unless you have the backlight on, which we did not. The front door is on the other side of the room with a small entryway. This is a solid door so you cannot see what is beyond it, with the glass storm door on the outside of it. About 45 minutes into the show, they're talking about the ongoing manhunt for this crazy guy, and bam, bam, bam! Front door bangs like crazy. We jump the fuck up and scream like banshees. Dead silence now. The only lights on in the house are the kitchen down the hall from the common room we were in and the light from the TV. We start thinking something on the porch. We had some planters and a rocking chair out there, had simply blown against the door. This was West Texas, crazy strong winds out that way. Well, a minute or two of silence and us holding each other post-adrenaline overdose passes. Just when we're about to declare everything is safe, we hear the storm door on the outside of our front door close. What would you do in this situation, man?
I grabbed my goddamn gun.
Someone had to have opened the door to be able to bang on the front door like that. Shit. We're both frozen in the middle of the room on the floor where we were watching TV. My sister crawls over to the TV and turns it off. It was an old TV, so you had to turn that metal dial to switch it off, which it does with a mildly loud thunk. Now it is just us in a room dimly lit by the kitchen light down the hall. I don't know how much time passed with me frozen and my sister still crouched by the now off television, but we kept making eye contact and looking at the front door. I remember this part vividly. I am on my knees sitting on my feet and I turn to look at the back wall of windows and glass door. We hear and I see the back door knob turn. It was locked on the knob but not deadbolted. It rattles slightly as if someone is gently trying the handle. Neither of us make a sound, just held breath. Then bam, 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 bam. Loud as hell, someone is trying to force the door open, just jerking it back and forth. The whole wall of windows is vibrating violently, and I can see with each jerk of the door how my slight reflection gets fuzzy, then clear, then fuzzy. My sister flips her shit and screams bloody murder. I'm still frozen on the floor. She gets up and basically drags me into her bedroom, slams the door, throws her mattress and anything she can in front of the door. Thankfully, she had remembered the phone, one of those ungodly heavy beige plastic long metal antenna portable phones. We still had to direct dial the sheriff there, and in her panic didn't remember the number. She just hit redial on the phone. It was one of her friends, and she tells them in broken gasps that someone is trying to get into our house and needs to get there right fucking now. The profanity sticks out here more than anything else. Who knows? Young brain. I'm curled up on the floor and cannot stop shaking. We don't hear anything else until we see the headlights of my sister's friend and her parents driving up to the house. We never did find out who was at the door or why. There were no signs of anything happening but a couple of scuff marks on the bottom of the back door that we could not remember if they were there beforehand or not. Nothing like that has happened to me or her since, but for damn sure, we never forgot to lock the door after that. When someone starts banging and trying to get into your house, man, get what you can. Anything you can to cause pain, because they're coming in.
They'll die if they come in my house.
Happy Halloween, people.
Hell yeah. This one is from Jess Dell. Very similar to something that happened to me a few months ago. I'm a girl, and I live in a pretty big old house with 5 Navy guys. My room is by itself out in the detached garage. So one night, I'm sleeping out there, and in my dream, I assume, I'm hearing this loud rattling noise. I slowly start waking up, but I feel pretty out of it. I open my eyes and look around, and the noise continues. The door is about 3 feet from the end of my bed, and the doorknob is rattling like crazy. It almost sounds like someone is pounding on it, but I can't tell if it's someone knocking or someone just trying to open it. At this point, I realize I'm really awake, and this is not a dream. Even my lab, who never wakes up during the night, is up and staring at the door. I often used to forget to lock my door, because we live in what seems a pretty quiet neighborhood. But thankfully, I began deadbolting it more regularly, maybe like a week before. Probably due to something I read on Reddit. I don't remember. I am terrified. I always hoped I'd be one of those people who responded better in these situations like this, but I was not. The door is still rattling, and I can see the motion light is on and shining through the window in my closet. All my blinds are closed. I am near tears, and I throw the blanket over my head and I wait to die. I have literally nothing in my room that I could defend myself with except for a flashlight, which I'm holding onto tightly. I am paralyzed with fear and just sit there as silently as I can, curled up in a fetal position with my metal flashlight. A minute later, the noise stops, and I am finally able to move. I have a weird closet with a window at the top and a big bench, so I crawl in there, climb up on the bench, and poke my head up. A few seconds after that, the motion light goes out. I missed whatever was going on. I run back to my bed and begin thinking logically. I live with 5 guys. They often have people over late at night after going out downtown. I look at my watch and it's 2:30, about the time they get home from the bars closing. Maybe someone was very intoxicated and just being stupid, right? So I text all my roommates, trying not to make a big deal out of it and sound silly. Hey guys, are you up? Do you have people over? Someone was just outside my door trying to get in. I assume someone must be drunk or something. Ha, kinda creepy. Less than 2 minutes after that, I hear the back door to the main house swing open. I hear whistling and banging, and my roommates are running around the backyard with baseball bats. Thankfully, one of them is a light sleeper, and he woke up and got the other guys up. I open the door, run inside with my dog, and I don't go to sleep again that night. My roommates spent the next couple of hours patrolling the house and watching out the windows. We never saw anyone, but they did find a pack of cigarettes lying in our backyard, along with a bag of Hardee's or something like that. More than likely, it was just someone trying to rob us, and because there was like 6 cars in the driveway, they decided to go for the garage, where they probably assumed no one was, and not the house where they probably get themselves killed. However, at the time, for all we knew, all my roommates had already been murdered, and I was the last one to go. That's what I figured at the time anyway. Anyway, definitely not the scariest story in this thread, but I definitely didn't want to sleep for a while after that. It took me about 3 weeks to start sleeping out in my room again. Kinda creepy.
Yeah. 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 Kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Okay. So what, 2 more? Or 1 more?
Just one more.
Okay. So 1 more story, and we're going to bust out these ghost rods. So this is from 8? A-E-T-T? I don't know. About 5 years ago, my mom started dating a guy she met on a dating site. Yeah, it's already a horror story. That part is fine. I had recently started dating the woman who would later become my wife, and we had all met online. I'll just refer to her as my wife for this story. Anyway, my wife and I never really liked this guy. We didn't think he was mean or anything like that, just a little creepy.
You have a real beautiful family. They're so beautiful.
I can't tell you enough how beautiful your damn family is. Do you want to go in the basement for a while? He was quiet. He kept his eyes closed a lot and occasionally said odd things like offering my wife a chocolate and then popping one in his mouth, closing his eyes, and moaning as he let it melt in his mouth.
You want this chocolate? It's...
Oh, no. One time, my wife and I were visiting my mom, but she got called into work. So we waited at her house. Her boyfriend was over, but he spent the entire several hours just hanging out in her bedroom with the door closed. Just before Christmas, my mom and this guy started having some difficulties. My wife and I were visiting her for the holidays, and she dropped all of her problems on us, and we listened carefully and told her our opinions and suggested that she would be better off without him. She already had her mind made up, though, and decided to break up with him on Christmas Eve. That's cold.
Not really, dude. He sounds like a creep.
Maybe she did like a parting gift of like a box of chocolates.
You want this chocolate?
We spent the night at my mom's and got up early on Christmas morning to visit my dad at his house. We didn't plan to spend the night at my dad's, but we got snowed in, which was actually a nice Christmas surprise. Hey, we got snowed in yesterday. Fucking snow. The next day we left as soon as we could get through the snow, and my wife suggested that we stop by my mom's house on the way so that we could see if she was okay. If he killed her, I'm gonna freak the fuck out. She was covered in chocolate.
Oh, Lord.
And he's just eyes closed. My wife just had a really bad feeling about my mom's now ex-boyfriend. My mom's car was in the driveway, but that doesn't mean much because she lives close enough to work that she often walks, and it hadn't snowed in her town. She also never locks her door, which drives me crazy, so we let ourselves in. That's when we see blood oozing out of the refrigerator's water dispenser. It had filled up the spill container and was leaking into the floor and had made a puddle. My wife screamed and I freaked out. I fully expected to see my mom's head in the freezer. I nervously opened the freezer to find a bag of frozen cherries that had been opened, crammed into the freezer so that it fell onto the ice dispenser and melted.
Well, that's the best scenario.
Thought my mom was decapitated by her creepy ex-boyfriend. The first comment, damn it, I'm so relieved that it wasn't your mom. All right, so I think...
Busting out the ghost rods, people.
For ghost rods. So, if you didn't listen to the episode where we did it before, there's two little rods. It looks like pens, and then it goes straight out. You're supposed to hold it and ask a question. If they cross, it's yes.
Yes.
And if they don't cross, it's no.
Go the opposite direction, it's no. So I have the rods in my hand right now, and I am ready to talk to the spirits. So, are there any spirits in this house?
No movement. Nothing yet. Are you afraid to talk to us?
Hang on.
Oh, shit.
Just took a while. We got to cross.
Okay, so that's a yes.
Will you uncross them for me?
Just cross more.
Hang on. Come here.
Trying to decapitate Cleet now.
Here, I'm going to straighten them out for you. Hang on. You stop. Hang on. There we go. Are you a good spirit?
Last time we used this, it was it was like a 50-year-old woman we were talking to.
Are you a bad spirit? Uh-oh.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
I like those.
Okay, well, it just crossed on the bad spirit pretty quick. We'll have to do a video of this later on, too, to show how it works. It's pretty wild.
Okay, don't move yet. Go ahead, Britton.
Are you an angry evil spirit? Nothing.
Hang on.
Oh. That's a yes. That's a resounding yes. Straighten them out.
Hang on. Did you follow us here? Or hang on. Do you live here?
Yes.
I'm trying to hold them up straight. Okay. Do you like Cleet?
That's a no, bud. Do you...
Hang on. Oh, that's just rude. It went no.
That's a super no.
Okay, I'm going to straighten it out.
Damn it, Cleet, get a hold of yourself. Do you like me? Am I okay to visit this place? That's a no.
Get the fuck out.
That's
All right, man,
no.
I'll let you hold it.
So it does not like us. Okay, so we're passing off the rods to me. I'm a little bit more steady-handed.
They call him Britton Sure Hands. All right, demon.
Right to the demon.
So, you want to murder one of us or something?
Wow.
You want to possess us?
No movement.
A little possession here or there?
A little possession. Do you have something you want to tell us?
Well, fuck. How are we going to...
Okay,
We
so
had a
that's
Ouija board.
yes.
We literally had a Ouija board.
We've been trying. Maybe it just took a minute to get here. Okay, stop. Okay. Do you want us to use the Ouija board again so you can tell us your answers? Nothing.
What about the spirit box? Will that do it for
Yeah,
you?
the spirit box turn back on?
Do we need to do like both simultaneously?
You just happy playing with these little sticks? Nothing. Did you already leave?
Are you still here? I mean, like, that's close. Yeah, cross, man.
Yeah, okay. So you're still here. Okay, Are you mad at us that we're talking to you? Do you just want to be left alone? No?
Would you prefer we speak with less colorful language when communicating to you?
Are we too offensive? That's a yes.
That makes me feel bad.
We're just not being polite. Okay, so that's bad on us. Well, let me be the first to apologize for our profanity. We know we're a family show. We try and be all inclusive here. Okay, so that being said, if we loosen up our language,
did bad things happen in this house prior to me living here? Gotta specify that.
Dude,
Oh, that's
that wasn't
hard
even
yes.
quick.
Jesus.
That was fast.
Oh Lord,
That was wild. Okay, hang on, stop. Hang on. Okay, so that was a yeah. Something bad happened here. I've always been curious. There's a concrete room in Cleet's backyard. Is that where the bad things happened?
that was a place of joy, Britton.
Maybe it was just a storage area. Did bad things happen in this room where we're recording right now? No?
What about the primary bedroom? Uh-oh.
Oh, God. Where you sleep.
I don't sleep
Oh,
there.
no. Okay, hang on. So, yeah. Bad stuff. So, apparently something bad happened in this house in the primary bedroom. What about the basement? Was that a bad place? Whoa. Okay, so the primary bed...
That's a hard yes. It's going, man.
Okay, so ghost rods are just... They're wild.
Did you die in this house? No.
Nothing.
That was the same last time.
Were you... Did you die near this house?
You are a demon, right?
Not a demon. Or...
But he's angry. Went to yes.
Yeah, he's angry. Sorry, I shouldn't assume.
Are you
Keep saying he.
Are you angry about the person who did the bad things? What?
That's weird.
You're just angry at us.
Was it another person that did the bad things? Or was it a tragic accident?
Did you do the bad things?
Shit.
There we
Okay.
go.
So we got a yes that something bad happened and whoever we're talking to did those bad things. In the primary bedroom and in the basement is where you operated. Fun. That's another yes.
I'm grabbing another beer.
Okay. Yeah, this is weird. I wish we had some video for this. This is wild. Okay, so you did bad things here, caused bad things. Did you own this house?
Hang on. I got a question. Was it with people under the age of 18? Oh, that's surprising.
Okay. So it's a no. Readjust my hands real quick.
So it was over 18? I don't think
It's
they
gotta
want to
be-
answer.
It's got to be one of the two. Was it strictly 18-year-olds? Nothing. Nothing. Did you like cause pain to people for enjoyment?
Ah, Lord.
That's a yes.
Got a little Hellraiser on her hands.
Okay, that's wild.
A little Cenobite.
Um,
Do you want to hurt us?
is
Oh, cool. He doesn't.
is this Chris? Oh, thank God.
I like Chris.
I was
He
hoping
seems
Chris
like a
wasn't
good
the bad
guy.
guy.
Yeah. Are you a male?
No. Are you a female?
They don't want to say.
Yeah.
You non-binary? Huh? They're not talking.
Yeah, I think they're... Okay. Are you done talking to us? Still.
We got scary stories we got to do. Thank you for talking to us, but we got to get into some good shit. And then we're going to do the Ouija board and the spear box at the same time.
Yeah. All right. Goodbye, pain boy. How do you do this? Dude, that was wild. So what I got from that is obviously something bad happened in this house. The person caused it. Basement and the primary bedroom.
Cleat hurt me.
Oh, shit. I didn't ask if it was you. Is it you? Are you planning on some big old crazy... You're going to murder me?
Yes.
Live?
Mm-hmm. This one is from Trenches 007. I have some stories that scare the heck out of me, but I'm not sure how you all react because it's not your messed up brain. Shortly after graduating from high school, I woke up one morning and found my father dead in our living room.
Jesus Christ.
I tried giving CPR, but he was already dead by the time I came out. I suffered PTSD from this event and would regularly have nightmares where I would be walking to the living room and would realize what I was about to see and would start screaming before I got there, and then I would wake up screaming. This lasted about a year where I was not a functioning human being. I would stay awake for days to not experience the dream over again. Then one day, I had a mental break in the middle of the day. According to my girlfriend, who is now my wife, said I tensed up like I was having a seizure for about an hour straight. In my mind, I had to keep living out that morning over and over, but I would stop myself before I went in the living room with a primal scream.
That's traumatizing.
Yeah, right, it's getting dark. Which my wife said I would do in real life as well until I finally let myself go into the living room and see my father's dead body.
Dude, like, I genuinely would feel like anytime you're turning a corner to enter a living room would be just the worst experience for you.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't leave you.
I bet. After I came out of it, I did not have the nightmares anymore. Maybe you just had to face it again, man. I don't know. That's fucked up. Flash forward in 2005, I joined the army, and I'm in Iraq. I was leading a convoy, and we had intel that terrorists were sending children out in front of convoys to get them to stop and ambush them. As I'm driving, a kid runs out about 300 meters in front of my vehicle, and I froze. We had orders to run over anyone in our way, and I was dreading having to make this decision. My truck chief is screaming at me to floor it, so I do, and the kid dodges out of the way at the last second. When we get to the next fob, I go to get some sleep, but I am disturbed about the moral choices I had to make that day. As I fall asleep, I have a nightmare that I'm driving again, and the kid jumps out in front of me. This time I run him over, but then stop feeling the horror of what I did. I go to check the body, and as I go around the back of the truck, I get that same dread I used to. Somehow in my brain I remember my old nightmares and assure myself it's not the same. As I get out, around the truck, I see my father's dead body, and I go straight into primal screaming again, only to wake up screaming and running. I mean, I am at full sprints as I wake up and in a part of the fob I didn't recognize. I thankfully haven't suffered from these nightmares anymore, but I am in constant fear of my own screwed up mind. Damn, dude, that was fucked up.
Yeah, that's wild. Like, you can't blame him. That's a traumatic experience as a kid. Okay, so we got one more story. This one is on the Ouija board topic, and then afterwards we're going to turn, the Ouija board...
We're going to double it up, man.
And the ghost punch.
Yeah, I wish we could do the rods at the same time, but,
I've only got so many hands.
Yeah, I only have 5 hands here.
This comes from No Springs. I was about 12 or 13, spending the night at a friend's house, goofing around with him, the Ouija board with him and his sister, and we were getting all sorts of gibberish, plus words spelled out. Just kind of scaring ourselves for fun, not taking it very seriously, when we got the message, I can see you through the window. And then, I can see you through his eyes, or something like that. There was just a small window in the basement room where we were, and just the backyard and woods past the driveway visible through that window. We asked it more questions, and it said, "I'm under the car." So we somehow got up the nerve to go...
Jesus.
What the fuck was that? So we somehow got up the nerve to go out with a flashlight and peer under the car, where we saw a huge black stray cat which was hissing. We ran inside freaking out, and at the exact moment the power failed and all the lights in the house went out. We just about actually shit ourselves. A few minutes later the power came back and we sat up till dawn that night scared and never played with the board again.
Well, son of a bitch, that is scary.
Okay, so we're going to give the Ouija board one last hoorah. So I read, while you were reading one of your stories, I looked up. Supposedly you're supposed to have one finger on the planchette each, and we're supposed to do a circle around the board and then rest it in the middle.
All right, let's do it.
That's how we're supposed to do it.
Onward towards the march to infinity.
Might be too crazy to do both.
Yeah, let's do both, dude. Let's get fucking crazy, because we'll be able to go back and listen to this. Yeah, dude.
Right.
We're here to push boundaries.
Stop.
All right, let's go.
So one finger each, we do a big circle around the board. Big circle.
Sorry.
And then rest in the middle. Okay. Are there any spirits with us?
Do a lighter touch.
Is there anything you want to tell us? We invite you to use the Ouija board and talk to us at the same time. Friend?
Scram?
I heard friend. Are you a friend?
Do you know any of us?
Are we using the Ouija board wrong? Is it you that's been causing all this pain in this house?
Are we talking to the person who was talking to us on the ghost rods?
That was pretty clear, but I don't know what he said.
Yeah, it's the hard part.
Can you say that again? Chris, are you with us now? It sounded like help, like gargled help.
Yeah, it did.
Do you need help? Stop.
I'm not doing it.
Bullshit.
It's moving on an S, bro.
Dude, you're moving it.
I'm not. I'm following it, I swear to God. Is it going to...
What the fuck?
Goodbye. Fuck you, dude.
Dude, stop. That was
I didn't do it. I didn't do
Bullshit.
it. I swear to God, I didn't. It's funny, though.
Especially because it's moving up the chair. It went right to goodbye.
It did.
Are you done?
I thought it
talking
was
to
you.
us? It wasn't me. Somebody?
Move the planchette for us. Quit being funny. Let's do a circle. Sorry. Couple.
You're a fucker.
I didn't do it. I don't think I did.
It's like just beelined it to goodbye. Is this making you mad that we're trying to contact you? I said that was wild. It's not moving anymore.
I feel like it yanked. Come on. Please talk to us on the spirit board, huh? What's your name?
Stop.
I'm not doing it.
Dude,
E.
stop.
Hang on. E. Keep going.
We got E.
Look, I'm not a patient man. Hurry up.
Anything else you want to tell us before we sign off for the night?
We're going to assume your name starts with an E, I guess. What is that?
It's on ER? This is weird.
I know. It's like jittery too how it moves.
It's very slow.
I know. Come on, hurry up.
ER.
What names start with ER? I don't even know.
Aaron. Eric.
No way.
Is it Aaron?
Is your name Aaron? I keep hearing that voice,
Nick.
right? It's like angry. Not really moving. I'll try to stop it. Yeah, don't apply pressure.
Dude, stop.
I'm not doing shit, bro. I don't even know where it's going. Come on. T. You're going to goddamn T.
RT?
Ert.
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 Ert. Bro.
I'm not doing shit, bro. It's not saying shit. You don't. No. Stop. Don't go there. Goodbye.
It just wants to be.
I don't know what it's saying, dude.
I don't think it's.
It's not words. Urter. Urter.
It's really glitchy.
I know.
Okay. Well, spirits, I think it is time to say goodbye.
I'm not saying goodbye. You can stay here all you want. All right. We done?
Think so.
Cool.
So that was weird.
Happy Halloween, everyone. Remember the sacrifices we make when we jump in front of the line to the demon possessions and all the weird Ouija board, spirit box, simultaneously crazy shit that we do.
It was just like glitchy movements.
And we just need more people, man. I feel like you have a Ouija board. I don't feel like I was moving it, but like I feel like I was following it. Like,
yeah, and we covered the history of the Ouija board and all of it. And one of the theories was like, as it starts to move, it's just kind of like your finger follows it. So could have been one of us. I don't know. I still don't think it does anything, but it was wild. It went right to goodbye, and it's like
we
the
didn't
chair
say
we have
goodbye.
it on is kind of like leaning down, and it went to the goodbye. So I don't know, but typically we don't catch everything on the spirit box. So if you heard something that we missed, something caught your attention.
Let us know in the comments, man.
Comments, entertheabysspod@gmail.com. But seriously, happy Halloween, folks. Thank you very much for celebrating our 100th episode with us and helping us get to this monumental occasion. It's been just amazing to record all these episodes.
Well, guys, if you're watching us on YouTube, I think we're at 219 subscribers right now. If you like what you heard, please like, share, and subscribe because it really helps us get us out there. We don't really get recommended in the YouTube algorithms. But as always, thank you for entering the abyss.
Until next time.